masculine man, take one.
Ooh, what makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills, and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
Welcome all. New day, new way, new view, new you. You can start your life all over right now as we begin this show. Today is Ranting, Raving Wednesdays, and I'm here with my co-host, the lovely Miss Carla, Nicole. How you doing tonight, Carla?
I'm amazing. Listen,
Yes.
I'm ready.
It's hump day. I like the subject. I saw the subject.
Okay.
Before we get started, how your week been going so far? Tell us something good.
Oh, you already know. It's always good. Just trying to build it, really building the YouTube channel. So I'm really working on that. We're not doing too bad on Ranting and Raving over there. So make sure to tune in and subscribe. Make sure to share our videos because that's very important for us. I also want to encourage everybody to subscribe to our Patreon, Ranting and Raving Patreon, because it's vitally important. The more we get over there, the more we'll get traction and more exposure. That's what we're going for. It's really about building at this point. We've been doing a lot of talking, so now it's time to build. So, yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. What about you? How was your week?
I'm chilling. I've had a beautiful week so far.
See, you got all cleaned up. Wifey took care of you on that, huh?
Oh yeah, I shaved that off, and see, look, it's growing back so fast. So that's the only thing about it. You have to be grooming yourself. You have to shave it every couple of days. The old men back in the day, they pull that straight razor out and they keep that thing bald. But I'm about to probably this weekend. I'm probably gonna get her to cut me up, and then I'm gonna buy me a straight razor and then. Like color purple. I'm gonna keep that thing nice and clean.
Men got a lot to do. We don't talk about that, do we?
It ain't like hey, beauty is only fucking what they say. Beauty hurts.
You already know, sir. You already know. It's a lot of hurting going on over there. Your wifey's taking care of you, though. That's what's important.
Yep, I appreciate her.
Better.
So look, what you got for us today? What we talking about today? Get the people started on what we talking about tonight.
Well, I don't know if you remember our last show. We kind of had talked a little bit about it, but a lot of times people don't realize how much overthinking can really cause a lot of damage if we're not paying attention. So I created a questionnaire called Am I Overthinking Test. So you actually can take the test and see, am I overthinking or what's going on with me? Like, why are these thoughts just racing in my mind? Or I got so much coming at me or so much going on that I really don't even know where to start. So I decided, well, since I already have the questionnaire already available, people can go and take the test and see where their score is. But I think it's important we talk about overthinking because when I actually surveyed my followers on Facebook and just asked randomly, do you guys overthink? 8 out of 9 people agreed that they do. Only one said that they didn't out of 9 people. So if we just take that as a small ratio of people, that means like, damn, that's a lot of people that really find themselves overthinking. And it's almost like it's a condition. And I also think it could be definitely the source of a lot of mental health issues, sleeping problems, appetite issues, constantly not being able to just even meditate and pray. I mean, you can't do a lot when you've got your racing mind. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think I'm an overthinker. I think that's one of my biggest issues. Me personally, I think overthinking in my life comes from when I'm not being disciplined. It's like when I'm disciplined and on point, I know shit gonna go right in my mind. When I'm focusing on staying positive, I know shit gonna go right. But if I find myself gossiping or talking about people or just getting caught up in the mix of the daily bullshit, that's when I start overthinking. I feel like it for me, it's when I'm doubting myself.
Mm.
uh like I equate it to like sports, playing sports. If I worked hard and I practiced all week and I watched film and I really 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 knew my plays, regardless of the person I was going against, whether they was bigger than me, faster than me, and stronger than me, it didn't matter to me because I felt like I was prepared, so
Prepared.
I could see everything happening. But when I wasn't prepared and I didn't watch enough film and I'm going against somebody bigger than me, I'm thinking about his size, I'm thinking about his speed, I'm thinking about all these other things other than what I know I can or should be doing because I didn't prepare myself. So for me, that's when I be overthinking. I don't know about other people or why they overthink, you know what I'm saying? But if I have a test coming up, for example, if I have a test coming up and I'm prepared, I go in that bitch, take it and walk out. Like people used to always ask me, how you finish your test so fast? I'm like, what I know, I know. What I don't, I don't. And ain't no need to meal over it.
Right.
But if I'm really prepared, I don't be overthinking. I find myself doing that when I'm doubting myself or didn't prepare or didn't live and act in the discipline that I know I needed to act in. I don't know if that has anything to do with anybody else, but that's how I feel about myself.
I think that's awesome that you shared that because that's a very vulnerable thing to say because normally people don't really admit why they overthink. They don't even know the source of it. A lot of people can't even tell you why they overthink. They'll just tell me like they'll sit in front of me and be like, I don't know, Miss Carla, everything's just coming to my mind. It's like, well, no, there's a source. There's something that's causing that. But a lot of times people struggle with even admitting to self.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I always encourage people that are constantly overthinking. First of all, admit to yourself that you are an overthinker. One of the greatest ways to improve something is to admit it to you. Period. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, very good thing to consider is I know a lot of times it comes from the fear of the worst. And I always say, well, why don't you change it up and start thinking about having fear of the best?
Mm.
So, what would you do if something happens the opposite way? Because, see, a lot of times what we fear, we end up experiencing. So, if we change our perspective and say, well, you know what? If I go in here and nail this out the park, it's going to be amazing. And this is how I'm going to feel. And actually, a lot of people, if you pay attention to any dialogue that people have about manifestation, they normally manifest what they think about.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can really change the narrative and try to change how we see something, we will instantly change the results. So a lot of times I encourage people, well, I know you're thinking about the worst, but what about the best? And they look at me like I said something in Spanish to them. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, I get it. Because a lot of times, depending on how you were raised, so that means unfortunately, our history, our raising, our childbearing years, a lot of times we were told a lot of ugly things.
Yeah.
And so, if you were brought up in a lot of negativity or even a negative environment, your automatic default is to think negative. Your automatic default is, well, he's going to kick my ass. Or the automatic default is, I'm going to lose this battle. And normally 9 times out of 10 you will actually have what your fears are going to be. So I always suggest for the overthinkers, consider this. Number one, think about, well, what can I do, Or how can I change my perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Because really that helps a lot. And then if you find your mind is constantly racing, you have to now take those I call it catch the thoughts.
Thank you.
So I'll tell people, I'll say, catch your thought. And when you catch your thought, put it and write it down. Write down what you're thinking. Write down what it is. And then have 3 compartments of how you compartmentalize those thoughts. Keep, throw away, and save. When you put them in those 3 categories, it really helps a lot to dissect what thoughts are very important, which ones you just they were just thoughts that came and it wasn't even relevant to nothing. And some of you be like, well, maybe I'll shelf this for later, because it might be a thought that it's something that is in my mind, but I need to kind of water the plant. I kind of need to water what I'm feeling.
You know, you said something that I have told people, and I would tell my students, and I think in the Black community, I know personally from dealing with people that I have did coaching and one-on-one with, some about telling us to take a pen and pad out. We look at that, that's like some white folk shit. Mm-hmm. Like like you just said, gather your thoughts, record them, make 3 categories.
3.
It seems so simple, but for some reason with us, it's like, oh, that's work. Like we be like, that's white folk stuff. I remember when me and Chris first got together, and you know, I had been married before, and we would have conversations, and I was like, hold up, I'm gonna get a pad, get a pen. I'm gonna write, you write. I'm gonna write, you write. Mm-hmm. We got 2 minutes to write. 2 minutes. I'm gonna write, I'm gonna read, respond. You got 2 minutes to write. And she would be like, why we gotta do all that? And I'd be like, because what it's gonna do is gonna keep us from arguing, it's gonna keep us calm, it's gonna keep us focused, it's gonna make us really think about our communication. And I've always been like that. And we was like that for probably about the first 10 years.
Wow.
And now it's like I don't have to pull out the pad. We can have a conversation. But that's how I always was. I was like, nah, because I want to go back. Now, you know how people in a conversation, they may say one thing and mean something else and going back and forth. Then I said, look, read up here. You said this. You just wrote this down.
Right.
You're responding to me now. You're not responding by how you really feel. You're trying to win the argument.
Right.
So,
that's powerful.
Yeah, that's one of the things we used to do. But a lot of people just always felt like that. And I used to try to do that with my ex. And she'd be like, I ain't doing that, white folks. You're trying to Dr. Phil me and blah, 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 blah. But it's one thing I always say that you're so right about. I don't know if it's our lack of imagination. Mm-hmm. For me, being honest and vulnerable, when I'm overthinking, like I said, it's lack of preparation, lack of discipline. Because say, for example, I always say, you can just as easily see a fairy tale as you can a horror story. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like your rent is due the 5th.
Right.
And it's the 28th of the month. You can literally see yourself, hey, my rent will get paid, da, 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 da. But for some reason, it's so fucking easy to see ourselves out on the corner.
Yes.
Because it seemed like the bad thing, it's always just like this one outcome. I'm going to get put out.
Right.
Our imagination is so finite when it comes to thinking about the good things.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to break up with me. I tell them this, they're going to break up with me. Our mind can't fathom, okay, what about this, watching this? Like I said, we can choose to watch a movie, a good movie about a situation, or a horror story. Absolutely. I had people before be like, free warn me. Might need a little help with my rent this month. And I would always say, you are. Because you're thinking you are already. You already. And you said it just as clear as day. That's what the story of Job in the Bible is about. I plan on doing a Bible study on that. You said most of the time we get what we fear. And in that story, the devil went to God and said, yo, Job, your servant, he only serves you because he's so blessed. And God was like, nah, Job will serve me regardless. And the devil was like, well, do this. take every motherfucking thing he got from him. I guarantee you he'll curse you. And God told the devil, you can take everything he got from him, and I guarantee he won't curse me. You just can't touch it, touch his life. And so, he took all his cattle, everything he had,
Mhm.
sitting down, got boils on his skin. And it's funny because he took his children, everything, but he didn't take his wife.
Mm.
And at that very last moment, guess what his wife told him?
What?
You ought to just curse God and die. She
Wow.
told him the very thing that Satan bet that he would do. Now, I don't know. Now, these stories are written by men, and I
Yeah.
don't know how much people believe in them. But you notice how it is that Satan always used the woman as his ally. He took
Mhm.
everything from this man. Why didn't he take his wife too?
Right.
He took everything this man had. And at the very last moment, when he ain't got nothing else to take, this man sitting out crying, got boils all over his skin. His wife come up to him and said, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" And that's what Satan was trying to get him to do.
Right.
And when Job's friends came upon him and they said something to him, they said, "What did you do?" He said, "I didn't do nothing." They said, "You had to do something for God to punish like you." And Job said, "The only thing I can think of is my very worst fears has came upon me." He had been thinking about losing all his shit. And that's how it is. I'm telling you, when I say, man, I'm glad my check engine light ain't been on. That motherfucking check engine light coming on.
Yes, sir.
And we're manifesting by default.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
the biggest thing. We're manifesting by default. When we're overthinking, we're still manifesting.
Right.
So when I know, I normally get up in the morning, I meditate, I write in my journal how I want the whole day to go. I'll write my whole day out, a whole page. I hope this, that. When I do that, man, I walk through the day
Right.
floating high.
Because that's energetics.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
But
power of
when I
energy.
don't do that, I'm looking for any old bullshit to happen because I know it's come from my lack of preparation. And like you said, that was vulnerable.
Yep.
It to me, it wasn't a vulnerable moment because I feel like I know exactly what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I
but
don't.
it's
I people
vulnerable
get
because
themselves.
most people don't have that self-awareness. Most people don't admit their self-awareness either. So one of the major problems within the love relationships, within parenting, within work environment, within familial bonding, we have a tendency, and even friendships, we have a tendency to forget that we don't really know self very well. And then what we do know of self, we will always present to our family, friends, lovers, the best part or side of self without sharing. And we'll make sure to omit this
Mhm.
part. I'm not going to tell them that I
Yeah,
struggle with this because I
yeah,
don't want to show a weakness. So what I meant by vulnerability is there's a power in it because so many people stand on I'm perfect, I don't have anything, wrong with me. It's like, no, we all have our moments. And just because I'm not a chronic overthinker, I do have my moments where I'm like, am I ADHD or what the hell? Because I'll be
yeah.
on something and I'll be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I'm a visionary. So I'm a visionary and I'm constantly producing something. So with
Mhm.
that said, I have to stop. Listen, okay, you want to create all of these things, but you're going to have to sit down and pick which thing you're going to stick to and focus on and only pivot to that. Any additional thoughts that come to my head or mind, I take those thoughts and stick them into the save section if they're worthy. If they're just thoughts that's just coming from, because it could be environmentally, it could be
Mhm.
different people's thoughts, it could be just something that you're thinking or old ancestral energies, it could be all kinds of stuff that's not even applicable for your today and in your world at this moment. But in the midst of that, as a visionary, I'm constantly thinking about different ways to resolve issues, problems, concerns, what people have going on. So I'm constantly in the mode of fixing and strategizing and helping and then inspiring other people. Problem is, I have so much, that I have to stop myself and say, okay, you're running a lot of shows here. So on that and in that, you need to know what you're trying to do, what's your goal to get set and done so that that can be accomplished. Now, once you get that done, don't get too celebratory about it. Just be in honor and in gratitude you got it done, but don't get celebratory because when you get celebratory, you get beside yourself. And then you think, oh, I'm good. I don't have to do nothing now. And then you just drink a little and then you're partying and next thing you know, you're off. Now you done got beside yourself. Now you're over here and you think you're all that. And now you're not getting nothing done because you get lazy. So that's what helps laziness to come about too.
Yeah.
We get to the point where we're real celebratory over something and we're real happy. But wait a minute. You still got other stuff to accomplish and get done.
Yeah. I dig exactly what you mean. The only thing where I disagree a little bit is not with the celebratory as far as, that one moment of, hey, thanks, I did something. I feel like this, and this has been my problem. This has been my problem. And I feel like the thing that helps me best from overthinking certain things is I have this way of looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
When you think in general, to me, a general thought slows my thoughts down.
Well, elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm about to explain.
Okay.
A general thought, when I'm thinking in general, it slows my thoughts down and calms me down. When I'm specific, it's like mashing the gas. It speeds my thoughts up. Now, meaning this.
Okay.
General thinking is the brake. Specific thinking is the gas. There are times in different subjects when I need to say, let me calm down, mash the brake, and just be general.
Okay.
Then there are times where I feel good about something and my mind say, hey, mash the gas, get specific, speed the momentum up. Now, let me explain what I mean. Say, for example, with this podcast and shit, this internet shit, right?
Right.
I have to be very general about this, meaning I'm going to talk, speak my speak, I'm going to blow up, and I'm going to make some money.
Right.
That's a very general statement.
Right.
That's how I can do this podcast every week without getting a big check every month. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that we want to see manifested of our work.
Right.
When I get too specific and say, I want to make this much money, I want to have this many viewers, that's when I get frazzled and start overthinking things.
Okay. And so what is it about when you say you get frazzled with the amount of those amounts? Why do you think that frazzles you?
Well, not just amounts. Say, for example, trying to figure out how it's going to work.
Oh, okay.
What I've learned is, for me, there's no way you can figure it out. And what we do as humans, in my opinion, we listen at people's stories. We see Jay-Z's story. We read people's books and and we try to pattern our life to certain things. And when it don't work, it don't work. Perfect example. I've been viral so many times. Everywhere I go, people know me, right?
Right.
Everywhere I go, I'm actually literally famous, but I don't have the famous podcast.
Right.
I don't have the famous money. So what I'm saying is, when I think and start thinking of, well, how am I going to blow? I'm doing this with Carla. I'm doing this with Trav. I'm doing this with this. I'm doing this. I'm in the movie. That's frustrating to me because it's my mind racing on when is my moment going to hit.
Right.
And then I had said, slow down, Javon. Make a general statement. You're doing this shit. You're already famous. You don't know how you're going to blow. There's no formula. Like a perfect example, the film festival. I never was thinking about acting. Somebody said, you want to be in this? I said, sure. I was in it. It got nominated. Me and my wife went down there for a week. We won. I met a fucking actor. He turned me on to his agent. Now my mind is saying, I might can be an actor, but slow it down. meet the agent first.
Right.
Fucking agent, just talk to his agent first. My mind is getting to, well, what if I meet his agent and and then this could happen, then I can be in this and this is how I'm gonna blow. This is how the world gonna know my. And then if it don't happen like that, I find myself getting frustrated or feeling like I'm not as successful as I should be, when I can say, okay, just be in general. Yo, I met the agent, some good gonna come out of it.
Right.
I'm in a movie, some good gonna come out of it.
Yep.
Now, there are times when I need to get specific, when I feel like I need to jot down every little thing because that momentum feels good.
Right.
So I look at it for myself like this. I say, whenever I'm feeling a certain way, if it's feeling good, get that pen and pad out and get specific. Think about these thoughts. Write all this shit down.
Yeah.
But if it's something I'm feeling bad about, slow that shit down and say, well, bro, you can make it one day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell people in their love life. Sometimes you have to say, hey, look, me and my baby good. We ain't fighting. Ain't nobody cheating. We all right. Sometimes you need to get in your love life and dig on those specific things you need to work on to get shit better. Right. Sometimes there's a general statement, and I know that's a lot, but that's kind of how I look at it. And I know for me, that's what keeps me sane, because we all got our hopes, dreams, and passions and goals, and we write down things that we want to manifest here and there, and we got our vision boards. You know what I'm saying? I've seen over time. I just did a new vision board. I've done 3 so far. I did one about 5 years ago that I was looking at the other day. I swear to God, everything on the vision board has happened. And it happened in a way that I wouldn't have never, I wouldn't have never thought of it. You think about all these people that get famous.
Right.
Think about this. I want to be long with it, but I just want to say this.
Okay.
Wow, this is coming to me. No matter how famous or rich you get, you're going to want to be more famous and more rich. Yeah. I read this book. No, it wasn't a book I read. This lady I used to listen to. I still listen to her, Abraham Hicks. She said, get used to always wanting something. She said, because as soon as you get that thing that you want, you're going to want something else. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where it's like, I really, 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 really tried to be happy in knowing that where I'm at is what I wanted at one time. Like the job I got now.
Right.
My job is so easy. I make decent money, but it's third shift.
Right.
And now I'm like, I want a different job. I want to make my money a different way. I really don't want to work at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like, as much as I prayed for this job and the blessing, and as easy as my job is and as good of money as I make, now I'm sitting back and it's like, it's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm just tired of leaving my house at night. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And then now I'm kind of on the prowl looking for something. As soon as I get it, I'm going to be happy for a certain amount of time. And then you're going to want something else.
Right.
So it's like what I've realized, I said, Javon, you got to love life and enjoy where you at, because, and just be general about certain things, because, you know what I'm saying? My Facebook is back monetized, you know what I'm saying? And got my little check, and it wasn't as big as it was, but it was decent. You know what I'm saying? And when it get bigger, I'm going to want it to be bigger.
Oh, of course.
Bigger. I'm going to want it to be bigger. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a situation where old folks say you're old enough for your wants not to hurt you. But sometimes the shit I won't be hurting me. And that's not overthink. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
How does this equate to, I know you got some for us as far as love life and in relationships. When are we overthinking? When are we not? When we need to chill the fuck out? When do we need to, like, I know you got a spin for this. How does this relate in relationships?
Well, before we go into that, I do want to dig into what you said about your wrestling in the inner spirit when it comes to you wanting more. What I would definitely suggest for you, because you already have celebrity status, you just are waiting for the time to show. You're waiting for the actual check to show up. You already are what you are in your greatness. It doesn't matter. It's just now at this point you're just waiting for it to happen. But in the wait of it to happen, you have to prepare without. So what that means is you prepare for the day. It doesn't matter that it's not here yet. Everybody else is going to be surprised. You won't be. You already know your greatness. You already know who you are in the spirit. You already know why you're here, what you're here to do. So it doesn't really matter about the money, the fame, the celebrity, because it also comes with a cost. Right now, we have a different cost that we're paying, which is we have to live in the human experience. I say all the time, I come from a uncle, a great uncle that, he has a Wikipedia. He's never going to die. So I always said, well, since my uncle, my great uncle, he has a Wikipedia, I must go on and do the same thing. I got to have a Wikipedia. So that's my biggest thing. I got to have a Wikipedia. But the truth of the matter is, I already have it. It's just a matter of for that day to show up. But I'm not in the wait of it. I'm in preparation for it.
Yeah.
So when you're not in the wait and, well, what's taking it so long? And why do I have to wait so long? And everybody else gets it. And then start looking at those people that are where you think you want to be. Prime example, I've been watching Jay Shetty, and I was chuckling because I heard him bring up the fact that he used to do coaching and only 5 people would show up. And I'm like, well, damn, that's where I'm at right now. When I do my smile and sip parties, there might be 4 or 5 people there. I'm like, bruh, like I've got so much to give. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not even asking for much. I'm just asking for you to show up. And when Jay Shetty said that, I was like, you know what? All that I'm concerned about, just keep doing it. And remember, I told you maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, the Spirit said, earn your keep. I'm like, what does that mean? Because I've been doing this and this and this and this. No, earn your keep means you don't stop. And then you don't sit back looking back. And what's coming? Is it coming yet? Look at me and start comparing.
So while I got you on here, let me ask you something. Because we all go through these phases, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we live in a world where influencing is a thing. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling like I tell my wife, how can I say this? There are times where when you make enough money on your job, you be like, man, fuck that internet shit, man. I've been trying to do this shit for 10, 12 years and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And how do you keep going when you see 4 people show up in your thing? Like, how do you encourage yourself, or what do you do? Like, because like, say I've seen numbers go up, go down, and I'll be honest, I just would get mad. I would get sad.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. I had an event one day, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. A lot of people showed up. It was like maybe 8 people showed up. This is the first time I even did a smile and sip that I have done in a long time. So I rehashed it, had a group, and this one woman, she's like one of my best top clients that I have right now. She loves my body work. She's always pushing for me and everything. She had a whole bunch of people show up. Now, mind you, I already in my heart and mind knew it was going to be a solid smile and sip. Everything's cool. We're all talking. Everything's fine. And I had talked to this woman at the spot that I was having the event at. I said, listen, I said, is it cool if we sit out here? So if other people see us talking and gathering, they may want to come in and enjoy it and, be a part of it. Oh, no, it's no problem. And da-da-da-da. Long story short, we're all sitting there. I'm doing the smile and sip. We're just getting started. And everybody's kind of a little bit loud, but they're having a good time. The woman walks up to me. I promise you. Walks up and says, if someone wants to sit down and study, you're going to have to go into the room you reserved. Just like that, in that tone. Now, mind you, it took everything in the healing power. I'm looking at her like, are you serious? I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I didn't say nothing. Then we just went on and kept talking and kept mingling. She comes back again. At this point, now I'm boiling. But I'm like, what I'm not going to do, because this is at a very nice coffee shop, very well-known coffee shop. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to show my behind in here because I'm going to try to behave. However, I'm hotter than hell at this point. But I'm like, this is an attack on me, trying to grow it. So don't take it personal. Mm-hmm. So I looked at everybody at the table and I said, listen, let's take this outside. I promise you on everything I love. Everybody rose up, gathered their stuff with no complications, no nothing, and we all went outside on the patio and sat and finished it up. And then of course I did the body work in the room I had reserved, one at a time and stuff. And I was like, something was trying to stop me. Something was trying to stop me from growing this up, and I'm not going to let that happen. And so a couple people were like, you may want to consider somewhere else. And I'm like, no, because you know what? I think that was energetic. I don't think that had anything to even do with the girl and her attitude. I think it had everything to do with something energetically was trying to put the pressure on me to stop me. Because there's a part of what I'm trying to build that wants to hold me back. There's going to be law of polarity. There's going to be positive energy and negative energy. So I have to be aware that don't take it personal. Just show what your will don't take. And I just won't stop. And so the girl that I'm working with, I told her, I said, look, I don't care if it's one or none. We're going to still show up and we're going to still do this. And so since then, I've actually had no one show up. And I took the people that were there and we still gathered and we still had one, even though there was nobody that showed up to the thing. I still showed up like it was everybody was here. I'm like, I'm not going to let you stop me. I know it's something trying to pull me back. I'm like, but there's no reason for this. But I understood that in situations like this, sometimes we have to remember that there's a law of polarity. And also, there's also something trying to stop you from your greatness. So you in your soul have to always have that knowledge and always let that, whatever that energy is, no, not today.
Yeah, because, I've had events where I've paid thousands of dollars to put on. And, you don't make your money. First, you be wanting to just make your money back. But in your back of your mind, you be like, I would rather people just come.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The first comedy show I ever did, I spent like $3,000 altogether. I cooked venue and it was free and it was so packed because it was free. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was so packed. And I filmed it and I got the audience laughing.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like a Netflix special.
Okay.
And then the next one I did the same thing, food, blah, blah, and I charged $20.
And what happened?
Man, it was only like maybe 20 people in this big theater. And everybody was like spaced out. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, can I get everybody to come in so it can be like a family moment so we can have us a little crowd right here? And people was like, nope. And man, I just felt so sad. I almost cried on the stage doing the set. And
oh my God.
When it's all said and done, though, everybody who does anything say this. Yes. And we know it, but when we experience these moments that we think are low moments, they're just experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact there have been times that I have just sat back and said, man, why this shit won't pop for me?
I know.
And then I realize, and I say to myself, I get general, and I'll say to myself, well, Javon, when you at your biggest height, everybody ain't gonna know you. You know what I'm saying? And I tell myself, I got a saying. I always tell myself, I say, everybody don't like Jay-Z. You know, his motherfuckers hate Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's a horrible fucking actor. Me personally, I
Oh,
think
you
he's
really? Oh, okay.
yeah, I think he sound the same in every fucking movie. He's the
Oh,
exact same New York character. Every fucking movie, other than Malcolm X.
okay.
And but that was similar to his, other than Malcolm X, he's the exact same guy.
Man,
Like you have actors like I think Jamie Foxx did the soloist. Jamie Foxx is Ray. Jamie Foxx don't seem like the same person. He changed his voice. He changed his face.
right.
Denzel, every movie, same old guy, same old fucking character. Hey, what same old? He's. I don't think he's a good actor at all. But that's just my opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
then you have some people that worship the ground he walk on.
Right.
So it's a situation where I always tell myself, when do we feel that success? Like there's no at no point in time is all of social media gonna say, Carla, Nicole, you made it. You were right. You're the greatest coach in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
you know what I'm saying? So
Well,
it's
that's why my newest prayer has been, just give me my people at this point.
yeah.
Just I don't care about the masses and all that. I don't need 1,000, 10,000, 30,000 people. Just give me my people, because I know my people have my back. Because when I tell you all those people stood up in unison, that showed me without a shadow of a doubt that they gave a damn about me and wanted to make sure that I had the success. And like I tell you, the Smile and Sip parties are $25 to come. I have food. I pay for everybody's drink. So everybody's drink is paid. I do a full coaching session plus body work. Why wouldn't you come? I don't understand it. But again, like I said, it's humble beginnings. And that's one of the things about overthinking is when you are on the uprise of creating and you are trying to make a difference on the planet, you have to go in and understand your elbows are going to get scraped up. You're going to have, when you first learned to skate, you fell on your ass quite a few times. You had times where you sprained your ankle. You couldn't even put a skate on. You had swollen ankles. When we first started to learn to do something, it's not always peaches and cream. You know, I mean, even when we were riding bikes, we would fall on our asses and stuff, and we still got back up and kept riding it. But the hard part about this is when you're talking about energy, time, money, and then you get no real full-on results, you're like, what the hell am I doing this for? And it's like, it's getting you ready. Because when the time comes and the people show up, you won't feel fearful or stage fright or won't know what to say because you're already doing it.
Yeah, I got a saying, be ready to be ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was telling my wife. I was like, well, you know, I'm in the gym, I'm working out. I'm like, I don't want an award. You know, I don't know how this acting shit gonna pop, but when it pop, I'm gonna be cut and fit and trim. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it's gonna pop, but you know, I just know sometimes you go through that mode. There are times that I have sat down and I've made videos and I've got a pretty screen and I've did this and I've did that. And I was like, this the one, I'm going to go viral. That shit got 5 views. You know, I've realized with me, the funny thing about me, you can have all the pity background, blah, 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 blah. My homeboy told me, he was like, man, you are a master teacher. He was like, you in your car talking for 2 minutes a change a motherfucker's life. And he was like, that's just you. And I be trying to, man, I got to figure out a gimmick, a way to da-da-da-da-da, and figure out a way to da-da-da, make my background and chop up some stuff and have some picture screens and blah, 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 blah. And I be wanting to do all that.
We want to compare.
I'm comparing. And that's the Bible say that comparing yourself to others is not wise.
No.
So I be wanting to do all that. But I've realized anytime I just pick this motherfucking phone up and just sit in my car somewhere and say, hey, family, blah, 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 blah. That shit then got me where I'm at.
Exactly. So, we already know it works, so that why change it?
Yeah.
What I was going to also say, that's a great inroad to you. You're asking about relationships. So one of the biggest things, and I was just talking to my partner about this earlier, one of the greatest problems in relationships is people compare their relationship to everybody else's. So when you look at, well, Javon and Chris, they have a beautiful relationship and they have it open. And I think we should do the same thing because they're working and they've been in a marriage for a long time. And I want what Chris and Javon have. And you're going on and saying how great it is. But you don't know once Javon and Chris close that door if it's really solid, if they really have a rapport, if they really have a solidity going on. Are they really enduring or are they sleeping in separate rooms? You don't know their business for real. But we'll compare what they have based upon what we want. And a lot of times what we want isn't what we need. So in love affairs, so if you want to talk about overthinking on some things, we need to make sure that we're doing living soul understandings of each other. And what I mean by that is when you do the reads of self first, you got to always read yourself first. You got to look and see what's my moon archetype, my sun archetype, my earth archetype, and my living soul archetype, so I know me. I can't come into a love affair, any of them, and really honestly be like, this is who I am if I don't know who I am. And I don't know what we're going to be if I can't tell you who I am as a woman. I can't tell you nothing if I don't know me. I can tell you what I want you to know. And be like, oh, yes, Javon. So I'm really nice and kind and this and that. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. But that might not be the case when I'm having back issues or having cramps during the time of the month or my daughter done pissed me off or my son is acting a fool or my clients aren't listening. Now it's a different version of me, but I didn't fill you in on that version. So now you're like, well, who is this? That's not the... You didn't tell me who that person was. Well, no, because a lot of times we sit in this fallacy that we're perfect and we don't want to tell anybody, like you said earlier, about your vulnerable self and how hey, I do overthink and this is why I do it. Well, who's going to argue with it?
Sometimes I sit back and I think and I say we must just believe, be alive, and be what we think we are because
right.
Man, sometimes I sit back and I just think about people like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Kurt Cobain, Gerald Levert, people that got everything that we think
right.
that they could ever dream of.
Right.
And they can't even fucking sleep.
No.
So it's like in my mind, why is it? I want to figure out.
Pick your poison, as my dad would say.
How do you go? Most people want their purpose to earn their money.
Right.
What they think their purpose is, they want to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? All the pastors that I knew growing up that worked a job, who didn't see their purpose, they saw their purpose as preaching the word of God, not being this big pastor.
Right.
That worked a 9 to 5 every week. They were good, loving, caring men, but they could never get a big church.
Really?
All the pastors I knew that didn't work a job had the big churches making the big money. What I'm saying is, how do you... Is our purpose supposed to be our money maker or not? Like, what do you think about that? Because we talk about purpose a lot. Is our purpose supposed to be our money maker? I know we will all feel like, oh, I'm on my purpose and it's making my money too. But should I? What do you think about that?
It depends. I think again, purposes. All purposes aren't
money maker
the same. I mean, they're not all a monolith. Everybody's purpose has different variances.
Yeah.
And different values. So depending upon your purpose, you might be a person that is just all about giving. And so you may get money, but a lot of the money you don't even take for yourself. You barely rub two nickels together because you're spending so much time charity, just giving. And that fills you up. Money doesn't matter to you.
The reason I ask you this, because I found myself, I'm having a conversation with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times on this social media journey that I've been on and trying to do what I'm doing. I've talked to my wife, and there were times that I have had great jobs, making a lot of money. Like I said, the times that I'm making good money, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm trying to live off of it, that's when it's frustrating.
Right.
So how can I say this? I used to say to my wife, Chris, I'm having a hard time understanding. Am I wanting to do my purpose, or do I just want to be fucking seen? You know what I'm saying? There are times in my life where I've said, I think my purpose is to speak and teach the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
And I've said to myself, if I think that's my purpose,
Right.
and if we got 52 people on here watching right now, like you said, just give me my people. Fuck me. Yeah. There's been times that I have just went out, got up in the morning, started teaching my Bears and Bubbles class, where I just wanted to teach, right? Didn't think about nothing, and made good money off of it.
Right.
I was felt like I was living in my purpose.
Okay.
Then when I said, man, this shit can make money, I felt like it changed in a way, like when it didn't make the numbers.
Because you changed priority of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's a you thing. That's an ego thing. That came from here. That wasn't a part, because your purpose was showing you that yes, you'll get fed, but then you got, oh, it's feeding me. So there's a difference. The purpose was showing you were getting fed, but then when you said this will feed me, it changed everything. Well,
yeah.
We start right here in the heart and soul. Remember, the living soul has a heart and we have a mind. But a lot of times, if you think about it, when you talk about love, or in relationships, we talk about heart connections. When you're coming heart to heart, that's a different love affair versus mind to mind. Because when we're thinking about, well, I want to have this, it comes more from transactions. When it's heart to heart, we're coming from care. Two different types of love affairs, not a right or wrong, but you're going to have two different versions of what it feels like.
It's like I've seen everything that I've really, really, really cared about, and I did. It made me money. Okay. When I did the things that I really, really cared about and wanted to do, it made me money. But when I wanted to live off of it, it got strenuous.
So therefore, there's the answer.
Yeah.
So there's the answer. That means that you cannot, anytime that you're doing something that you truly enjoy, and you really want to know, is this what I should be doing, or is this what I want to do, or is this what I need to do? Because all of those answers will give you exactly if you're on purpose or not. And let me just say, if you were not as handsome or as articulate as you are as a man on the planet, no one would be watching this, period. You or I would not be looked at. Nobody would care about what we're talking about. It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, our appeal matters. But outside of that, we had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
This is not from our doing. But I'm going to tell you what our doing is, what we have created. So what we have created and what we have to offer the planet is our doing. Now that has to be exuded from this being. This is an offering.
Yeah, this is just an avatar. Yeah.
It's just an thank you. But it doesn't matter about this. What matters is, what are we gifting the planet while we're here?
Yeah, I had a good friend of mine say to me when we was working this job, and like I said, we was making so much money, and he was like, man, with all the money you making, why the fuck you think somebody I said, man, but I'm trying to do my podcast, I'm online, I'm trying to get known, and da. And it happened to where I had got popular where people at the job started watching me. So then the supervisors and different women on the job were like, he's chauvinistic. And, then my supervisor kind of came to me and said, hey, man, your social media is kind of being talked about a lot around here. I ain't really telling you to stop, but at some point it's going to come to a head. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, fuck this job, man. I'm going to keep doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? And my homeboy that I work with was like, man, you would give up this good job to keep talking on some bullshit social media. I said, man, I think my purpose is to teach. I think he's like, who the fuck is you, nigga? Who the fuck is you to think that? He was like, that's just your ego. You know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. And I actually end up quitting a job before I get fired for something because I don't ever want being fired on my record.
Absolutely.
And staying to your guns. It's like I know deep down in my heart that I've been teaching and doing this before the internet existed.
Right.
Like I would be places, literally. I could be at the fucking bus stop waiting on the Greyhound, and somehow I'll be talking to somebody, and before I know it, 10 people around me. And I'm like, God damn, I must be a master teacher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I must be a master teacher.
It's funny you bring that up because I was just thinking about that when I was young. Like I was in elementary school, talking to a young man. I remember him like yesterday. His name was Dale. And Dale was telling me all his private stuff that was going on behind closed doors at his home. And I'm telling him what to do and how to protect himself. And I'm like, ever since I was little, I was doing this. As long as I can remember, I was even telling people to be together and don't pick that person. I mean, I'm talking about, I'm little, like a little girl. And I remember actually trying to help people back then. So I'm like, this is just me. It don't have nothing to do with anything other than finally figuring out, well, sit down in your purpose and figure out what you're supposed to be doing. And then I was like, well, now I'm driven to just change the planet. And my biggest thing, my biggest goal, and my biggest desire is to get people more aware.
Yeah.
If I can build people's awareness and they can see beyond just what they're thinking, I've done my job. If I can change how they see it, even for a moment, even if it's like, oh no, I only see it this way. It's like, okay, can you check out this way real quick? They'll be like, oh no, I couldn't imagine. And then they change it and they'll be like,
Because what you said about you just want your people, I literally can recall a time where I've had hundreds of thousands of followers and was like, before Facebook killed my page and I had to do a new page, had 100,000 followers. Wow. But I was doing a show on YouTube with like 50 people and they were paying for my life. Like I guess they saw me as their pastor. They just literally just would send me cash apps. 50 people watching this show every day. And I'm like, damn, these 50 people are literally taking care of me.
They were your people.
Yeah, exactly. And so I see what you mean.
Really, they were eye candy for you to build to build your ego. But what were they really doing? Were they sharing your stuff? Were they doing anything?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This group of loyal 50 people was sending me cash apps, sharing my stuff. Yes. Like today, I got a call about a guy like, you still got your detox? I said, yeah. He was like, I need 3 of them. We going into the holidays. I was like, okay, send me your address. We'll get them out to you. He was like, man, why you don't be advertising that shit no more? Man, you need to advertise, blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't advertise it anymore because folks was fucking with me at one time. Like, who the fuck are you, nigga? You can't. They saying you can't call a product a detox. You know what I'm saying? The FDA saying you got to call it a cleanse or some other shit. Long story short, they was fucking with me. So I was like, I'm going to just stop talking about it.
Remember what I said earlier. Remember I told you that there's the law of polarity. So the evil actually won that.
Yeah.
So you were supposed to be like, I don't give a F what you want me to call it. Well, what I'll call it is this, and change the whole damn shit to a whole different name.
Yeah.
So for me, that would have got my juices going.
And see, what happened was when I sent my patent in, they didn't want to approve my patent. And so when they didn't want to approve my patent, it was like, well, since we're not going to approve this patent, you can't sell this product. The FDA actually came after me. I think somebody fucking told them because I don't know how the fuck does the FDA and the Environmental Protection Agency find me over some fucking detox? But long story short, the point I'm making is I stopped talking about it because they was fucking with me. They made me take my website down, but people still call me about it because of the word of mouth of it. You know what I'm saying? So like you say, what's for you is going to be for you.
Well, you can't stop me. Like I told you earlier, you can't stop me. I am going to, I always make sure to say certain things, if you notice, I'm very specific and intentional when I speak. So like I said before, I want my people, and they're showing up right now. They're slowly but surely showing up.
Yeah.
And I was telling my one client, like, yeah, I've got this. One lady showed up and she told me, she's like, you're so dynamic of a coach. I want you to coach my kids. And she paid me for that. And I want you to not only coach them, but my one son is black. And I think he'll do good with you because he needs a black woman. And I'm sitting there in disbelief, not disbelief because I was actually like feeling away, but
yeah,
I had said something kind of joking. Like I was like, oh, wow, like this is amazing. And my client was like, don't say that. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, that sounds like self-doubt. Don't say that no more.
mm-hmm.
And it was powerful because I was just being condescending, but not realizing that the condescending can transfer into the universe because I'm saying it out of my mouth, manifesting it to be self-doubt, and that's not what I want.
Yeah, it's like the first time I catered a wedding, I fucked myself because I was just so happy somebody trusted me to cater their wedding.
Right.
This big day of pomp and circumstance. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I'm happy that I can go shop on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
I can shop on Thursday, prep Friday and Saturday, and cook and serve Saturday. And after I pay my team, I'm happy I made $1,000.
Right. No.
For 3 days work. And then it got to the point where I was like, nah, I'm fucking myself.
Powerful is that's another thing too. We cannot dim our light. So whatever our light is, we have to stay strong on it. We already have a really good, dynamic, powerful channel over there on Ranting and Raving. So I already know we have it. I'm not worried about that. I get 1,000 views over there all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not concerned about that. I know we already got that energy. I just need us to build up the economy for it so we can get it started. Because really, once it takes off, it's a wrap. Yeah. And we have so much to offer as far as just the living soul. We have, these different questionnaires I'm creating now. I have a soul freeze test that is doing very well. I have already had like 3 people take the soul freeze test.
Yeah.
That soul freeze test is helping women thaw out as we speak.
Yeah.
I just created a book called She's Beside Herself. I haven't even released it yet, but you can get it. November 7th, that's coming out. So yeah, you just need to make sure that you figure out how we can build what we got.
And you damn sure ready to be ready. Well, that's another week, y'all. We try to stay right at an hour. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Y'all check out Miss Carla, her phone number.
Share.
Coaching, share. Her books. You got a lot of shit going on. The Living Soul, get a Living Soul reading. And other than that, Miss Carla, I want to, if somehow we can revisit, because I don't think we got into the relationship part of it. Like as far as when to overthink, when to da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah. Part 2 coming next week.
Exactly. I'm about to say, I definitely wanted to get into the relationship because I know I've been tending to overthink in relationships as well. But I appreciate you.
And also, I need you to take the test.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. Take the
test. All right. That's what's up. Guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace, family.